What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be continuing our quest through the Super Sons of Tomorrow story arc with part 2 of Super Sons issue number 11. Now, this is, I think I reviewed an issue of Super Sons before, or was it Adventures of the Super Sons? I don't know. I've been doing these comic reviews for quite a while now. I've done so many that I've lost track at this point. But yes, we're going to be talking about my favorite comic book series from DC the last pretty much ever is Super Sons. Now, this is obviously part of a crossover, but I loved Super Sons. Everybody I know loves Super Sons. It's extremely popular, it was very well liked, and it was very unfortunate that that book got the axe when it did, because ever since then, things have not been the best for these two characters. But anyways, this is part 2 of the Super Sons of Tomorrow story arcs. We're going to do a brief summation of what happened. Then I'll give my final thoughts on the issue per se. But again, this is written by Tomasi, Gleason, and we have other people on the art style. But basically, the issue opens up, and we see Tim Drake as the Batman of tomorrow. He talks about... He has images of a fearful future where John Kent lost control of his powers and went supernova, which unwillingly accidentally killed a bunch of people. And so Tim Drake's trying to go back in time to stop this from happening by going and killing John Kent. So in the last issue, he took out Bruce Wayne, Batman, and he took out Clark Kent, Superman. We also see Lois, and she's like, oh, John was tired, went to bed, yada, yada, yada. Tim is having struggle to stay in this timeline because Hyper Time is trying to pull him back. But he's like, I got to hurry up with my mission. There's a ticking clock element. He takes Lois out, and he's going to go after John Kent. We also see the Teen Titans with Starfire on there. She's older than a teen. She's clearly an adult, but they're facing off against some simple bad guys, and they're not important. They're just kind of there. We don't really see what happens else with them. They're just kind of an opponent that are already in the middle of fighting. Then a bunch of stuff happens. The bad guys get taken out, and everyone's wondering who did it, but it turns out to be Superboy. And there's some, of course, because it's Super Sons, there's got to be some humor in there. Starfire, do me a favor, Damian shoots something in the air and catch Superboy, and so Starfire has to catch him. And then we go back to Titan's Tower, and John Kent's disappointed. He's just like, listen, after the Cracklow stuff, which is an arc earlier in Super Sons where the Teen Titans did show up, so that was a pretty fun story arc, but he was like, you promised to take me on at least one mission a month, and it's been 3 months, dude. When were you going to tell me? He's like, I didn't say for sure. Look, I had to lie to get you off my case. You weren't going to stop, and it motivated you. And he was disappointed. But as they're talking, they're interrupted by Tim Drake, who's telling him the dangers of Superboy, basically. And he's like, go ahead, Raven. Hear my thoughts. He kind of traps in a room using just kind of a crazy thing. I've charged the air molecules in this other room, the special disruptor frequency that prevents Raven. It's a bunch of BS stuff that keeps him from doing that stuff. Raven's able to see kind of inside and project his thoughts with everyone. Basically, an older Damian Wayne, John Kent, older Damian Wayne, now Batman, I guess unhinged in his mind. Tim Drake was in the middle, man out of time, tries to do something, lines are crossed, some stuff happens. So there was some drama between Tim, Damian, John, which causes complete chaos, and John goes supernova, which a power unleashes destruction, millions dead in the process. So, all because of Superboy. Tim Drake believed this is the future with every fiber of his being. Again, futures are definitely changing. Tim Drake thinks it's the definite future, and everyone else is like, look, that hasn't happened yet. He shoots some goo at Superboy, and Superboy goes into a panic mode because he's still just a kid at this time. He's only like 10 years old, and he's going crazy. He's just like, somebody help me, I can't. Damian, please help me. And Raven's like, his motion levels are going up. He's starting to go into kind of that supernova mode just a little bit. His powers going to get unhinged. So Damian tells him to fly out as fast as he can, or he's going to kill everyone. So John's just a concerned and terrified kid because everything's going dark. He's got all this stuff on him. He's going to a panic mode, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then he kind of goes explosive, which affects Tim Drake, affects something within the time stream. Titan's Tower is pretty much destroyed kind of at this point, like in severe damage at this case. But we also see Bart Allen, Cassie, Stan Smark, and Connor Kent kind of watching things because they're looking at the time stream. We'll find out later on the issue. But basically, Titan's Tower is kind of decimated at this point. You see all the Titans, their vitals are there. Connor, what do we do? And then hello there. Okay, that panel had to be in there because it's Starfire. But yeah, that costume is definitely riding up there. So yes, there we go. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the issue. We see that all these different characters from the future, you know, Connor, Cassie, and Bart are, I guess Bart's wearing reverse flash armor, whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of it with part 2 of the Super Sons of Tomorrow crossover, which is Super Sons 11. The next part's going to pick right up in, was it Teen Titans issue number 15, I believe? Yes, so that's where the Teen Titans tie-in comes in. And yeah, so that's basically the issue in a nutshell. The art style is very nice. There's some funny banter amongst the team, and you really get the sense of why Tim Drake is doing this, because he's completely terrified, or at least, but like, he's doing it kind of an uncompromised way instead of trying to figure out a way to stop this from happening, in the sense of, you know, doing something different, maybe to suppress his powers or maybe perhaps take away. He's like, I'm just going to kill him. That's where the extreme comes in. Maybe not if he went out of his way to try and speak with them and explain, hey, look, this thing happens. It could have been better off. But because he comes in guns blazing, he's like, I'm just going to kill Superboy. That doesn't go over so well. And of course, we get glimpses into John's untapped power, because John, as you know, has more potential than Superman to be stronger, because he's got human DNA involved too. And, you know, he's half Kryptonian. He has the potential to do all these things. And by the way, I just want to say, I really miss young John. I'm so sick of Bendis John. I miss this John. This is the John I miss. And yeah, just want to throw that in there, because every time I see this John Kent, I have to throw shade at the current John Kent that they have in the comics at the time of recording this. Hopefully we get the real Super Sons back sometime soon. But overall consensus, I enjoyed part 2. Part 1 was more of an action and setup thing. It's not much in the way of moving the story forward per se. It's just kind of just bits of action. It's like the opening action scene, and this one's where we're starting to dive a little bit more into the plot, and things are starting to get exciting. Again, there's some funny bits here and there, because Super Sons has to have a little bit of that humor in there. There's some cool artwork definitely displayed throughout the issue. Again, it leaves on a bit of a nice cliffhanger to set up the next issue with Titan's Tower being blown up, and of course that's going to have some repercussions and consequences going forward. And yeah, again, it just moved at a quick pace. I enjoyed it. I think it's a good one, and we're going to get into the next part, which is coming up in Teen Titans 15. So what are your thoughts on the Super Sons of Tomorrow, Part 2, Super Sons number 11? Again, what are your thoughts on Super Sons in general? I really love that book. I wish it was still around. You know what, if they would have kept the Super Sons kind of the same way, and we didn't have the current Teen Titans book, which, you know, massacred Damian's character, or the Bendis Superman stuff, which completely massacred John's character, and just kept things going, DC would be in a much better place right now. I don't know where they would be at in terms of the story, but we'd be in a better place. So anyways, that's all I got to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications, like this video, share it, and be sure to come back next time as we talk about Teen Titans issue number 15. I'm posting these videos pretty much all simultaneously, so you'll be able to check them all out, and then we'll move on to the next arc, and then we'll pretty much be it with the Teen Titans stuff. I'm just making my way through every issue, trying to post as much as I possibly can. And yeah, that's all I got to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.